How are you today? Have you ever had people ask you that? How are you today? And in all honesty, how? How? The thing is, way back, when people are going to create something or invent something, they had the why. They were going to, well, they didn't know clearly what the why was, but they were driven with a goal, a basically a vision they had. And the how came into the equation at some point, the how, right? And to make it become the ARE was R as an is, right? It basically was everything that was going to evolve and is that to make it happen, right? And we're going to go with the how. When people ask you how are you, you are of the same aspect of life. Uh, in the aspect of you being formed as a fearfully and wonderfully made, and made with so many different um, uniqueness that makes you, right. When people will ask you how are you, most of the time, if you were to sit there and what I like about, as you travel through life, so much things that are presented to us, like a simple question, how are you. When people actually take that into consideration in their life, they really do enter into a deeper place in their life. How am I? How am I? And the majority of the times that to make how be is that they have to decide, I really don't like my life right now. And these are the things that I would have liked to be, or I still can be. And then they go into the how factor. How, right? And the how is the action, the major the culmination of stuff dependent upon your uniqueness that will take you into the pathway of how it's going to become, right. You will never ever be able to answer that question, I should say, correctly, unless you are in the place that you should be right now. That when someone says, how are you? You say, you know what? Really good. When God created everything in this earth, and that's exactly because we were made in his image, right? He looked down and he said, it is good. That's how God, if someone's asking him, how are you in this moment that he just did this, he would say, it's good. It's good. So much in life in general will come along, and it does come along because you see, the you have begun compromised all through your life. And by being compromised, you compromise. Now, I'm saying it's always the case, right? There is so many different winds that come and blow you around, blow us as human beings around. Because we're not only body and soul, since we're made in God's image, he said he breathed into us and we became a life-giving soul, breath. People said that he gave up his breath, right? As you're breathing in this world that you live in, this thing you call life, the you is really important to pay attention to, because the you is so dependent on the hows, right? And the majority of the things that makes you up right now, that's who you are. When anybody asks you how are you, it should be, and the R is basically the B, where you are right now, the being, right? It really should kick you into a place of deeper introspection, deeper seeking, right? And not have you answer a question so glibly. Well, I guess it could be better. Well, what can I say? You know, or people say, oh, well, life's a bitch. Well, well, yeah, right. And most of the time, Because people don't give introspection to their own lives. When they ask you that question, they don't expect to hear what you're really saying. It is just a glib 3-letter question. That's all it is. It's not meant to invoke any kind of depth. Because if you go into it, how are you? And you start going, they're going to go, oh, okay, yeah, okay, see ya, bye bye. You know, but how are you is so important, because it is how the seeker finds the place of the how, the R, and the U. They've actually found all 3 letters at number 10, right? Do I believe number 10 can be in life at different times in your life? You better believe it 100%, man. If you're honestly truthful inside, as people say, they use this word, being truthful to yourself, right? If you are honestly truthful about what's really going on inside, and by the way, I I really firmly believe that the only people who can ever be truthful with themselves are people who have created a clean slate. They've come clean with God, and they've come clean with other people. Because if you have things that you're hanging on to or things that you've done, those things are going to go with you in the R and the U. They're going to walk with you. And the how is going to be your state of being always. Clear it up the inside, clear it up, getting clear. If you need to make things right with people, or people need to make things right with you, I'm just going to give you a little tip here. Don't expect it. The way you can actually allow others to make things right with you when they've done you wrong is to understand a wrong person was doing a wrong thing. They were not well. If someone was to keep asking them how are and they were truthful enough, they would have been able to answer they are not well. They're sick in the mind, they're sick in their soul, they're sickness on a walking around. You see, so much is given to attention to when people are ill with their bodies, but not enough attention of how do you find out a person who's not well, who's unhealthy on the inside, their soul or in their mind. And there's a whole bunch of people walking around, man. They can do well. They can look so good on the outside, but total mess on the inside. Professional people. I met some professional people who seem to be having it all good. And if you go into their homes or whatever, and it blows you away. You go, wow, this person's not well. You could just tell they're vices. They got a lot of crazy vices, and they're on a self-destructive path, right? You really don't want any of that in your life. When someone, even sometimes it's kind of good to actually look in yourself in the mirror and say, "How are you?" And name yourself. How are you? Really, how are you? Like, and sure, it matters. You could say, "Well, what have I done to make me say, oh, I'm doing fine?" And that's another thing too. Don't ever be so dependent upon the accomplishments to determine how you are, because the majority of the times you do accomplishments, it will be for some kind of outside external validation. So I've seen people who own, let's say, motorbikes or cars, or they'll go buy all the guitar selection or records or jewelry or whatever. And their accomplishments is based upon how much of what they have and what they can show off. And their accomplishments, in the end of the day, is based upon some little thing with their name on it. That means a trophy. That has become their accomplishment. That's how they determine how are you. So they'll have to walk in their house or wherever it is and look at their trophies, and that determines how they are. But that's not how you really are. Your external stuff that you do does not, even how you dress, does not determine how you are. Even you can actually You could say you came to a place where you may have a good mate in your life, nice kids, and you said, "I how am I? This how I am." But that's a value system that's still based upon external. Yes, it's good. It's good if you're an amazing husband or wife or even a child, that you're growing and you're becoming a really amazing person. That's good. But it still doesn't determine how you are. Determining how you are is still based upon every single day being absolutely truthful with yourself. Am I actually truthful? Am I actually being true right now? That you don't get caught up with other people. You don't get caught up with the everyone patting themselves on the back, because there's back patters usually need somebody else to push them forward. But if you can honestly ask and answer yourself that you'll know. You say, "How are you?" You know deep down inside, you know what? I'm actually fulfilled. I may not have a lot. I may not have accomplished a lot, but you know what? I'm actually I'm actually at peace within. I know I haven't really damaged really anybody. I've had moments in my life, and I'm talking about just yourself or myself saying that to yourself, right? Self talk, right? Or you could say I could look up to God, and I could say, God, that I know that I've messed up, and I know that I need you. I need you because you're the author. You are my breath. So without you, I really I don't want I can't really live, because you take my breath away and I'm done. Right? But you could say before God in all confidence, you know what? I'm actually pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good because I know you're in my life, and I know that you love me, and I know that I'm loved. I know that I'm lovable. See, that's another thing about asking, "How are you?" When people ask you that, wouldn't that be funny? If someone turned around and said, "You know what? I'm pretty lovable." It would throw people right off. Or I'm actually quite joyful. Or I'm at peace. And yet, these are the things that really causes people to get out of the fake zone in life. When those three words are asked in a question, "How are you?" And because you really don't hear even people who are very close to each other. Most of the time, "How are you?" will be based upon looking for some kind of a support, right? But to be able to answer those questions, so I'm at peace. I'm actually fulfilled. I'm actually quite joyful. I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually right now at this point in my life, I would say things seem to be hopeful for the future. I have a lot of hope. You know, so I'm just going to leave you with this. I say it's again, my videos are really just intended more to inspire you, lift you up, and get you thinking, right? You all have a good day, and do like and subscribe. And I'll just say this in my ending comment more than anything else, man. The Bible says this, that God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy to the one who's pleasing in His sight, and that is the most important answer you will have in your life when you're in any way, shape, or form being asked that question, "How are you?" And you could say it, and you could say confidently with God, because God is actually sending His life into you. And you're actually in a place where I'm actually God fulfilled, right? That's where I'm going with this. You're God fulfilled, right? So you have a good day, and do like and subscribe. Take care.